It's one of those kind of days. Ice storm in North Carolina. Alrighty, D6T MC2 system, single pole with single GPS. Something about the GPS not working. First thing I do is I like to take a look at it, make sure it wasn't banged. But it's either most likely a cable or a connector end. But we'll check it out. Whew. It's been slippery today. A lot of ice. We'll check out the voltage on it and check the cable ends. Look for any damage on the cable. It looks like it's probably the cable end. See what the system says. So, waiting to initialize. Look at the screen is froze up. See that? That's interesting. Huh. Alright, so what I had to do, I noticed I had a screen protector on it. Just took that off and everything started working. Weird. Alright, so I just recalibrated screen. I want to recalibrate again. Let's go in here and look at the radio settings. 915 SS. This should not be serial port C. That should be B. And OK. There we go. We got radio. And we went green. Okay. So I may still need to do an OS wipe on this if it starts acting funny. But what I thought needed an OS wipe was nothing more than this thing. It was acting so funny, I didn't even notice there was this protectant on there. But you see how old and nasty that is. I guess when they start acting funny, just check to see if it's on. You got one of those on there. Alright, so now let's get out of there. Let's go into there we go. Let's go into device. I want to actually take a look at that Top Gun folder. Alright, so we got our OAF, which is important. We got our machine file, which is important, and the project, which is equally important. Those three things we're able to rock and roll. Alright, so now, because this needed a whole bunch of stuff, let's just start updating and see what it does from there, because I don't know if there is any damage on those cables or anything like that, but I do know that we need to update stuff. So let's update first and see what happens. We'll update the 3DMC first. Once that's done updating, then I'll go into, hold on, I think the screen is getting foggy. Is it getting foggy? There we go, okay. I think it was just my back screen. We'll update 3DMC and then I'll go in and update GPS. We'll get everything updated on this box, restart, reboot, factory reset everything, and then we'll test it. And if it's losing GPS connection still, then we'll go out and check the cables and stuff. We're going to check the cables anyway, but that will definitely prompt us to look further into cable damage or cable end damage. So let's update and see what happens. Alright, removing MCR3 because it will not allow me to update GPS firmware through the GX55 display, which is fine. Just have to go and do it on data cables. We're going to need this, my computer, and we shouldn't need, yeah, we should need that. Let's see. Actually, we need this one right here. That has the firmware on it. Alright, let's go load this thing up. that's probably why it's never been updated, because they weren't able to do that through the display, so they just, you know, someone just didn't take the box out and do it. So all you need for this is a set of data cables with a USB connector, and it's just going to go into the just going to go straight into the port and fire it up that way. I believe it's the A port. Yeah, okay. And this one should go to the main. Yep, it's on the main. Okay. And we just have to throw some power on it, which is just a 12-volt adapter. Oh, there we go. We have life. Now, on the computer, all you really need is the true program. It's one of those kind of days. It took me about 2 hours, 50 minutes or something like that driving to this spot this morning. Ice storm in North Carolina. 31 to 32 degrees, ice the whole way. Non-stop accidents everywhere. The roads were so slippery. I made it. And I had to restart. My computer's acting really funky, so. Alright, so all you need to do, open up your True. It's just the same thing as on a GX55 screen. Firmware loading, connect. And this is going to be serial port. Yep. Serial port. Cannot find. Hold on a minute. Might be on a different COM. There we go. When you're dealing with the GX55, it'll be network, but this one is serial port. So, and let's see how many files it takes. 2. And soft break, yes, next. And this has the 4.1 D5, which we're updating. Let's go in and find our RAM. I got it on my flash drive, wherever that went. Where did my flash drive go? Where are you? Oh, there it is. Alright, so there's the RAM. Open that one. Alright. And now let's go in and do the main and open. So there we go. And next, capturing device. Updating flash image. And there we go. We only have to do that for one antenna because it only has one antenna. And there we go. Firmware successful. We want to actually, yeah, let's just go in there and double check it. Hit OK again. Connect to it. And just go in and pop that open. No, not going to do it there. Okay. Let's go into application, receiver managing. We will connect there. Make sure that's on the right port. And okay. We'll connect there, and then we'll go in and see what the information is. There it is. 4.8 D5. Alright, so it updated successfully. Alright, go into tools, do a factory reset. Okay, factory reset is done. And then all we need to do at this point is disconnect. Alright, it's already disconnected. Disconnect. And just take and bring that back into the machine, power it up, and check it out the rest of the way. Alright, we got everything remounted. Let's go ahead and fire it up and see what it tells us. New 3DMC, new firmware. Had to reload the project in it. Had to reload the machine file in it. with that machine file, I just want to go out and take some quick measurements and make sure that that machine file is still good, and then we'll just check it and make sure it's tied into the model. Oh, I got water on it. Alright. There we go, good on sensors. Waiting for satellites. Good on radio. It could take a few minutes because I did updates and I did a factory reset, which wiped everything, so it has to basically recorrelate its position and all that stuff and get stable. So it could take a minute or two. I'll bring you back. And there we go. We just popped green. Let's go in and take a look. First thing we want to do is make sure that update's in there. Update is in there and good. So we'll just go right along. The fixed is, we got 6 GPS and 0 GLONASS. So we want to check, go all the way to advanced. GLONASS is checked. Uncheck it, recheck it, and then we can go back to fixed. It's not using any GLONASS. That is weird. 0. We are 300ths. They got it on 3 decimals. We need to fix that. Okay, we're starting to pick up GLONASS now. There's 3 available. So we only have 7 satellites. And anything over 10 is good. Anything less than 10 is not that great. So there's no masking on this, so we can't expand it. This is what you get. Alright, we'll just have to let this cook for a little bit, and we'll just hit OK with this. They got a pretty big offset in there, negative 1.1. Wow, their elevation gains are high, 60-60. I am going to just change that for them right now because I know that's wrong. Your array's elevation gain should be higher than your lower. Your lower should be lower than your higher. So we'll fix that for them right there. Let's look at their slope gain. It's only 9. So one thing we want to do is just double check the valve offsets on this and make sure those are all good. Let's go in and take a look at their sensor here. Blade slope. It's at 14.4, negative 14.4, which makes sense because that's negative and we're leaning that way. So that looks good. We'll double check that when we get to it. Oops, I don't want to get in there. Get out of there. Display options, display units. They're on 3 decimal points. We want it on 2. 3 is a little bit too crazy. You don't need all that information there. That's better. You only need tenths and hundredths, which is fine. Alright, so let me jump in this machine file real quick. Edit. Just make sure all this is correct because this is coming from a saved file. It's on standard. Alright, so they got antenna height at 1090. Blade width at 13.33. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of measurements there, but I want to make sure, go back, reverse switch, okay. I just want to make sure that they are correct before we go and test the machine on them. Alright, so just to update you, I did find a bad GPS cable. I'll drop in a photo right here and show you what that looked like. I started bending it and some air bubbles came out of it, so water was getting in it and causing a little short, causing it to go red and green and blah blah blah. Updated firmware, updated software, updated 3DMC, everything else looks good. Just retook measurements and stuff like that so they can go back to work.